Hello from the other side, bitch. Hello from the other side. What you doing, gumbo? On the gumbo side. Hello from the gumbo side. Gumbo side. Hello from the gumbo side. Hello from the gumbo side, bitch. Hello from the gumbo side. Hello from the Hello from the gumbo side. Who told you to stop? Hello from the gumbo side. Hello from the gumbo side.
So what you looking for? Stay strapped.
But also, I think the potential nuance here is that we're looking at a dark-skinned, masculine-presenting lesbian woman who looks like a man in the face for all intents and purposes. And the body. And the body. And the body. And the body. It's true.
Go away.
But I think that what's also happening here is that
I love how he doesn't even care.
this does not make those women who fit into a binary presentation of womanhood feel safe in the bathroom. But the thing about that is, how many times do we think that she's been complained on herself? Now she's found somebody that she can pick on, somebody that people are gonna rally behind her when she does this. There's no backlash, and in the midst of all of the bullshit, she gets to push her fucking music, and everybody's missing that part. So on top of her trauma, her sexual trauma, she has social trauma that nobody's addressing, and then she also has an agenda that Quay has been addressing, but I don't think that it's a one or the other. I think that it's a culmination of all of those three things tied together that is a white person. So more people are less likely to give a fuck and villainize her, and it became the perfect storm, but that don't make it right.
And I would like to and I just want to name too that prior to the Tish situation, Alexis was getting that she never had a problem in that gym before. There's never been complaints on her before. It's a Tish thing, her thing, and then a couple people complain because of Tish's reaction, but she's been safe in that gym. And to our knowledge, other women have felt safe enough to not,
First of all, when you watch the video as Tishy's crashing out, nobody is even stopping to listen.
Alexis said that the other women in the gym was comforting her.
Yeah.
But y'all see that.
Most of y'all are from the South. So this is in LA. This is where I'm from. So
give your baby the gift of safer, healthier skin with the only crib mattress that's breathable, waterproof, and certified organic.
we have so many spaces are gender neutral. We do have gender neutral gyms. Not that one, but you can be affirmed here in LA. That's just how we do it. Jack and y'all are so smart, and I agree with so much of what you're saying. I feel like where we differ is where I like to live in reality because I want to get trans people who are trans for real safe.
Your reality.
That's real. Real trans people safe. And I do feel like there's a lot of people who play in gender, and I've seen it. I've seen them do it in the media. You can say you're not binary or you can say you're a trans woman. I see people play in gender all the time, and this is not a game to me. This is for real.
Feel that way about y'all. Physically feel that way about y'all.
Miss Cody, I affirm what you're saying. I'm pointing over here to you. Like we're saying, I affirm what you're saying. However, this is not one of those times, right? Like, so yeah, there are.
That is a just hilarious talking point.
Yeah, like there are.
Hold on. Do y'all want to dissect that while we're here?
And neither are hilarious.
Neither are hilarious. I don't want to bring any more bricks into the conversation. We don't have to. Okay.
But I do think in the conversation of these are tropes that are utilized in every other system because earlier on TikTok, it was a white woman who came in my comments like, if you want me to be playing, I feel unsafe, and anyone who could possibly overpower me and all these things. Valid fears and concerns. And I replied to her and said, I understand how you feel because that's how I feel navigating white people.
Oh.
And there were people, and it was specifically black women who were like, well, what does that have to do with that? I said, because I understand what it's like to walk through the world, understand what could happen, not know who I'm around. I said, but the difference is there is a historical documentation of the true violence of these folks' existence, and I still have to figure out how to push through, right? I have to navigate that fear, and I can't walk around and say, remove these white people because I know they could be dangerous to me, so they have to leave the room. And people were gagged. And I wanted to say, this is a real thing I feel, but also, okay, y'all need a trans bathroom. Well, you need a colored pump. Like all of these things echo each other, and black folks, I feel like they don't want to validate it because they feel like we are making a choice. We're choosing to be marginalized.
Yeah.
We're born into marginalization.
Yeah.
I think that doesn't open black folks up to just coming together and having real conversations. And that's why, at the end of the day, in another world, I would reach out to Trish and want to try to have this conversation and be like, how do we get you to something that feels like closure? But I don't feel like that openness is there.
She wouldn't receive it. Because Dominic, how you would hit her is imagine if you were in the women's room and women were screaming out, they are uncomfortable because your strong body ass is up in there making them feel uncomfortable because there's a man in here. Imagine.
You would see like
Imagine that your black ass was standing up there with all those biceps, triceps, and quadriceps, and those goddamn cornrows going back, and white women began to brigade and spin around in a circle and go up there and say, "Oh my God, there is a man in here."
And I also want to say this because it's been on my heart a little bit. I still feel away about it. Them dog whistles and that, like, wanted to be like, close proximity to whiteness and have this privilege. I mean, just last night I was talking about this on social media, and I was just saying how I have those things. And I'm naming names because I can. And so India Moore said to me last night, I wouldn't feel safe with you in women's spaces because people who look like you, men who look like you, have harmed me.
Correct.
And I think that what happened?
She's
Correct.
right.
Huh?
Correct.
I didn't hear that part. So, and I was like, that was a little triggering for me, but also for me, it's just like people who also look like me have affirmed you, have defended you, have supported you. So when we throw those daggers out there, I'm wondering, are systems or
You better move.
organizations responsible, like a gym facility, for people's personal
Not doing this.
like issues or trauma that might be going on? Because that just seems to be unfair to any business or company.
Because to Dominique's point, that means that every black person walking should be able to walk into a gym and say, "Get all these crackers out of here," because of the systemic and documented oppression that is happening actively right now to us.
With love, like I heard Quay's statement.
David Gearman. More meaningful with time. They have no idea who they're dealing with.
Pre-order now.
With love, if India can find a way to be in a relationship with a man who was accused of many rapes and we did healing circles for, I believe that she has the capacity to have a conversation with Jerome. That's not dismissing her fears and her concerns. It's taking a case study and true data and things that I've witnessed myself and saying that the capacity is there. So that those are those moments when I'm just like, you sit in a space and you have a great deal of privilege. You were on the red carpet at your movie premiere with several people who have committed sexual assault. David Harbour was just reporting from the young girl on Stranger Things about
straight ahead, low IQ kind of. Oh no, let's stop it. It's the new meds. Okay, armed robbery. Here we go. Whew. Here it is. Keep it simple. You go in heavy. You go in well armed. Some of you will do crowd control. The vault team will go downstairs, blow the first vault door with the thermal charges. Then use the card to get into the network and open the second vault door. And then look out, because you'll have about 2 minutes before every cop in town is waiting for you outside the bank. So you move fast. You get on the bikes, you split, and then we meet at the rendezvous point, okay? Good luck, people. Nothing can go wrong. It's all good. I'm all good.
concern from this season, sitting next to these people. So, and again, not just missing your fears and concerns, but you've demonstrated the capacity to navigate those when you've chosen to. And even when we don't feel like someone presents a certain way, if we can give that grace outside, I would love for us to figure out how we can activate that grace internally. We can still do our feelings, but this idea of the presentation is scary when you were moving into a high rise with a rapist is loud.
Okay. All right.
That's the truth. You landed in the bed with a predator, a known predator. We had to do a resort in Texas, you know. And you talk about you want to play. Fuck out of here. Wait, you get it. I know you ain't acting like it with you hard, because you. Use your social media to go and fix them. Down,
Okay. So, Austin, what's going on here? I'm saying, this is something that I need to
It's a pussy. We can talk about it. It was a chance. So what you want to say about the non-binary? Where India said that Jerome looks like someone who could be a person who could possibly harm them, and they expressed that due to Jerome's presentation. And I said there's documentation. Actually, I have the document of Black and People Department running the Healing Circle of someone that India was dating and living with who was a sexual predator, and we went outside of the justice system to do.
To 70% off UGs and returning phase and rentals. Plus, decorating supplies are up to 50% off, so you can fill your space with holiday joy. Shop with best selection in-store and at my
Healing and restorative work, and she works with people who are documented predators every day, and she's able to figure it out and move forward. So if she can do that with people who are outside of her community, I would expect her, with her deep capacity of empathy and conflict resolution, my God, on today.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. There's a few comments that are coming in that I'd like to highlight. There are biological women in here saying that we want biological women respect, but we're disrespecting biological women. I'd like to know how are we disrespecting? How?
We barely even truly discussed Trish in a way that has really come. So, okay, wait, pause. If you're talking about me naming that she looks like a man in the face, she does. And I think that the same way that y'all, some of y'all like to say, oh, it's about the truth. You were born a male. The truth is, while she may have been born female, that woman has a very masculine face. And body. And body. And if we can't name that, then y'all shouldn't be able to name that we were born male. Because do blues need to bring you a clue or what?
I just want to say, I'm not looking for your respect. I'm not looking for cis women's respect. I just want safety. That's it.
And so that goes back to that this is an opportunity to talk about safety and protocols and procedures and de-escalation tactics, maybe keeping all genitalia, hidden.
It's the gym, no. It's not a bathroom. It's a gym. So
No, but it was the bathroom of the gym where we're talking about how people. So this
The locker room.
the locker room itself, right? Like
A gendered space.
yeah, but people get naked to go into the shower, right? Like you can put your towel on the hook and go into the thing. Like you don't have to be walking around with your ass out.
Some people do. Well, my thing is, but let's just assume. My thing is the person to me.
Holy fucking shit!
In this situation, to be perfectly honest, that is most likely to cause harm is the masculine affirming lesbian in a space where there are likely people that she will be attracted to. This trans woman is very likely not even interested in women. So when we think about the person that is most likely in that space to cause harm,
Most of us are not.
most of the girls.
Okay, you go, Dick, you go.
Step inside with Wyndham Rewards Insider. Unlock exclusive discounts on hotels and flights. Plus, save 15% off tours and activities. Up to 30% off.
Can't you get it over with? I don't like this.
Let the hostages know what happens to heroes, yeah? This ain't the movies. Hacker, you're up. We've repackaged that other crew's hardware. Plug it into the access panel and get into the bank network. If you don't control the crowd or you have to pop someone, this thing is gonna get a whole lot more difficult.
Just perfect. What's wrong with you? Let's get out of this alive. I'll be a good. Okay, please.
Those doors were getting through.
That's it. The vault door's opening. Demolitions. Use the remaining thermal explosives on the titanium gates in the vault.
You unfair. Crap! You piece of shit. I don't like this. These birds. Hey, I'm cool. Oh, crap.
You're in. Get all the cash you can carry.
Just don't shoot us.
Please stop.
Whatever you say.
Crap!
I get it. I get it. You made your point. I get it. Okay, okay. What's wrong with you?
Everyone, play nice.
You made your point. I get it.
I don't like this.
Point approved.
Okay, now regroup back on the main floor.
Can't you get it over with?
Okay, please.
Okay, I get it.
I'm reading you loud and clear. This would be the worst way to die. Okay.
Cruises and so much more.
But when people, just so people don't lose this in a factual conversation, sexual harm is not historically rooted in attraction, it's rooted in power. So for folks that have to be attracted, but I don't want people to leave and make it seem as if we're not adding that important content. Absolutely.
And if we're going to add further context, statistically, trans women are not known to rape cisgender women.
They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a fuck about that. What they give a fuck about is having the moments. Because we are polarizing. We're two things at the same time. You gotta hold two thoughts that you can have a male body and a woman presentation. And people are the problem holding.
And see, that's the problem itself in thinking that we're two things. We are one thing. There are people who live outside of this binary box. There are people who are born outside of this binary box. The problem is these binary fucking boxes. Even in this fucking conversation, we are ignoring people who are intersex. I mean, to be honest, Trish said that fuck the plus, it should be just LGBT. She said fuck the plus, the higher plus. But honey, I wouldn't be surprised if Trish goes to the doctor, get her chromosomes checked, and she's not 100% female, as I said in my response to her initially. Bitch, you a little too brick for that estrogen to be running through you like it's supposed to.
And according just to my research, within this last year and the years prior, women and girls who have been harmed physically, sexually in women's spaces have been harmed more so by cisgender men who are masked and presenting male than some men dressing up as a trans woman. So, like, it's really not a thing. It really doesn't exist. And having this large conversation about something that really doesn't exist just seems a little bit odd.
And I want to bring up playing around with gender, because we talked about that a little bit. Jerome, you brought it up. I'm sure a lot of people are going to look at you as the eyeball on the panel. Yeah. There are people who play with you. And even as trans women, I'm sure all of us have been on this panel have played with gender, whether it's been Halloween, whether it's been trying a new pet.
When we set out to make bank with Mega Bowls, we didn't tread lightly. We jam-packed them full.
Style, whether it's been considering various procedures to transition or to pass or to feel pretty. You know what I mean? People will play with gender. There are people who may identify as trans one day and realize that that's not their identity overall.
Is that like Demi Lovato?
Oh, very much so.
I think, and I think that we should, I think that we should work toward a space, or be trying to work toward a space where it matters. We need to, like, you know, yes, consider gender spaces. We need to reconsider how we live and exist in restrooms, because there are a lot of people who may not be trans women who won't feel comfortable in the men's restroom.
We do that in
whether they're also, whether they're non-binary, whether they're whatever. And it shouldn't be our business as long as they're not harming anybody.
Because what's going to continue to happen, to Diamond's point earlier, is that the line is just going to keep moving. You can't have it. You got to have breasts, but now them breasts got to be silicone. They can't get now they got to be this. They got to be that. And it's like, what is if safety is the root cause, right? What can this business or establishment do to now make sure that everyone feels safe in this space, right? One of the things that I'm not even going to bring it up, I'm going to pay it down.
No, don't get us there.
Now, because one of the things that we still have yet to discuss, or what I feel like is one of the most important pieces in this whole thing, is like the unity amongst the entire community, right? Like, how do we get back to that? Like, because we keep having these conversations at one point it's the gays against trans, then it's the lesbians against trans, the next thing you know, the bisexual is going to come out of the clear blue sky out of nowhere, and then it's going to be trans. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we have to really, like, figure out what this unity piece looks like, because we all are, if the goal really is true liberation for the community, then what does that look like, right? Like, if safety is the issue and liberation is the destination, how do we get there?
It's like allow people to exist.
And also in the process of creating a world that we want to live in, not that exists, not the reality of right now. In the process of creating a world that we want to live in, how are we moving within that process? Do we have to wait to the reality of the good, wholesome, safe world before we start moving in a way that, how do we start moving? Because if we stick to moving like the standard of cis people, justifying bad and harm and negative stuff based on cisgender beauty and cisgender way of living, then the world everybody in this space said, fuck what the doctor said, fuck what the world said I was supposed to be. We bucked up against that system and started moving different in how we wanted to see the world. So just because the world ain't where we want it to be, why do we have to move in a way that's aligned with them? I'm trying to understand it.
Well, my thing is, we've been doing that. We've been moving in alignment. They just started acting like they had an issue with it. Let's be very, very clear about this. This is not something new. We've all grown.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah. Oh, my friends! We did it! Well, you did it. Woo. I know I didn't do that much, but you. You know, I thought you were just a bunch of creepy and quiet weirdos. Turns out you're a bunch of creepy, quiet weirdos with talent. You rob and you steal and destroy like geniuses. Oh, I love it. I love it. Here, let me wire you your money. You know, I will never forget the good times. All the laughs we had. You're like family. The picnic, you know, the hike in the woods, and all the selfies, and oh, and the time we went rollerblading, and we watched the sunset, and we stayed up all night talking and sharing our innermost fears, and then what was that? That wasn't you? Even the skinny dipping and the oh. What are you saying? Oh. The drugs. Oh man, the drugs. I am a heavily medicated man. I'm not well at all. I'm a little embarrassed. Okay, the money here, and here, and here, and here. Okay, you better take off and take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
Knowing a trans person, a super high femme drag queen that never came up out of the geesh, somebody in community that was that community's tranny, or whatever you want to call that person, but we all had one. And everybody's person understood their place in society. You didn't see this happening in the early 2000s where everybody, their mama was getting clocked at the airport and people were trying to do that. The amount of engagement. and praise that comes with the villainization of trans people these days is what keeps these folks on a high outside of the community. When you talk about weapons inside of the community, what I think that we're trying to figure out is the fact that what people realize is that when the money started to trickle down and fall from the sky and Chicken Little looked up, trans people were the benefactors of a lot of those things that other communities felt like they deserved. And a lot of these people are trying to get rid of us in an effort to then take the resources that are being allocated specifically for us so that they can say, well, y'all are gone and we are not stealing it like they're doing anyway. And I think that that's the thing that we have to be mindful of, is that we're so busy fighting for crumbs that we are not protecting each other because we feel like if these people stay on top, that I don't have the resources that I need for my part of the community, when we keep forgetting that we're all one community.
Diamond talked about like the conversation of us existing for the world we want to have. And for me, that comes down to an abolitionist approach, right? And I think the first step is everyone's going to have to feel comfortable with there not being a standard that you can meet. Meaning that there's no way for everyone to define whether they are excellent or they've achieved their goal, which is very difficult for people to do. It's very difficult for people, even when you've done the job of breaking out of the box you were put in, right? There's some standard of what does it mean. There used to be some sort of definition of what it means to transition completely. There was some definition of that people held at one time, right? That made people feel like I've done the thing, so I'm valid and I'm here. Then it shifted a little more. When it was more accessible, then there was something else, right? These shifts keep happening, but
9,000 photos on your phone? Tap, frame, hang. Custom framing at Michaels. Oh, just stress sweated through my third set of scrubs. Totally normal. It's very healthy. I'm sure it's a sign of emotional unraveling.
Not at all. It is a sign you need.
We're going to have to let go of the hierarchy of achieving the ultimate goal. And I don't think a lot of trans folks want to do that, because I also feel like a lot of folks don't do the internal work. To let go of the idea of achieving or fitting inside of a box, you got to be okay just feeling like you're great with just being yourself. And I think,
Girl, fish starts in the face.
I was about to say, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think that we will reach a critical mass, especially with Black trans women. I don't think we will reach a critical mass of most girls saying, none of that matters to me. These things won't hold me hostage. Because a lot of girls either enjoy it or they trick themselves.
Girl, listen, and none of us up here want no man that want us with no motherfucking goddamn Santa Claus beard. That's why we don't got no Santa Claus beard. None of us want no motherfucking man. None of us don't want no man that want us, bitch. We ain't got no goddamn the thing. We want to be
How do we go the girls who aren't there yet stay?
No, that is the question. How do we keep the girls that are not there yet safe?
Well, the girls that are not there, there. Hold on. The girls that are not there are the ones that's getting all the men. What are you talking about here? The girls that are not there are getting all the men. What are we talking about?
But that's why I said I don't want to get lost, because to Dominique's point, right? Like, to Dominique's point about, we have to remember that it's individual. So if your definition is that for you, it's not for someone else. So let your journey be individual and tailor-made to you. If you want breasts, great. If somebody else don't got them, don't make her less than a woman. That's her. That's her. It is your individual journey. It's an individual journey, right? Like, and these are the things that you get for yourself or don't get for yourself.
And I would love. Oh, go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
No, like, I completely understand that. And, like, I completely denounce, like, trans medicalism, right? But when it comes to maneuvering through society, and we, like I said, we have to share these spaces with cis women, I love the idea of this gender abolitionist society, like, on paper. But how do we maneuver through society until then? Until we get to that point? How do we share these spaces with cis women and not step on toes? So that should be the question.
And I think but giving up power feels like your toes are being stepped on. It don't matter. If giving up space that we're supposed to be women is going to feel like their toes being stepped on, and we can't get around it.
Because who was Tish, or what's her name, Tish or Trish? I don't know.
Tish.
But that's what she felt like. She felt like her toes were being stepped on because this woman
was in the bathroom doing what she was doing, which was existing. So she was feeling like her power was being threatened and her culture
Just like white people did.
That person was in the bathroom. Not that she was causing any harm, not that she was disrupting anyone, not that she was preying on anyone, but because she was in that space and didn't present the way that she felt comfortable enough or comfortable with. And so that is so to your point, Jay, about like how can we do this? Remembering that you in there to do what you doing, and then when you finish, get out.
And then they're going to be like Republicans. When we make accommodations and make compromises, they're going to take the space and then continue to move the line because they don't want us there anyway. It doesn't matter if we pass for or not. They don't want us there if they're transphobes. So it doesn't matter about accommodating them. They're never going to be okay with us. The ones who are not okay, they're never going to be okay. And so I'm not going to break my neck to accommodate them. I know that I want all of us to be safe, and if I'm working hard to make all of us be safe, then I'm not accommodating no bitch just because you don't like me because I'm trans. Fuck you. No. Speaking of bitch don't like everybody, who just put up Angelica's comment? Who did that shady shit?
I want to touch on the race. I want to touch on the race piece. Because to keep it 100, you got a panel full of black people caping for a white trans woman.
Not me.
Let me rephrase that. You have a panel full of black trans people discussing and giving attention and giving our time and our voice.
Well,
situation
I'm more caping for the Brits.
Because it impacts black.
Well, here's the reason. But we're doing this because after all of this fizzles out, that white girl gonna go back over there. She gonna have her motherfucking diamond tiara earrings in her ear. She's gonna transition. She's gonna document her transition. She might even get a television show. Who knows? I don't know. That might even happen for her. She gets the opportunity as a white woman to move as white women do. Like Caitlyn had the opportunity to run those people over, move with them and got a whole series.
I used Shipt same-day delivery to stay connected with my sister during the holidays. She lives across the country. Shipt has tons of stores to order from. Groceries from Albertsons, crafts from Michael's, even pet supplies.
Damn.
The list goes on. So when we have long-distance movie nights, I turn to Shipt to get face masks, snacks, and everything else.
They get to do what white people do, what white women do. We get the short end of the stick by still having to continuously deal with it. Just like Glad is over there parading Snoop Dogg up and down the thing. I'm over here, I've windmilled about being able to just say that two lesbian women can have kids because maybe one adopt. They probably had to adopt. The black community tore me up a week. Just the testicles got up there, made these things about me, and then it began. I attacked Jess because I said, "Girl, sit down, meteor man, sit down." And it began to I attacked her. This is
Damn.
So when I'm speaking on defending my community from phobes, that means lesbophobes, transphobes, faggot phobes, whatever. When I'm speaking up against it's for my community. Then some people in my community was tearing me up, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden, Glad went over there, got in the white spaces, running him all around. Instead of them sitting him down with black people, who were the black people that were tearing and ripping us apart, ripping me apart, they got the white people sitting over there having a whole white conversation.
They had Darian be the host.
Well, that's Darian's program, but also, Madison, I'm glad that you brought that up because I want to take us back. This isn't the first time that this happened. Y'all remember when Kevin Hart booked up and everybody was against him? Y'all remember who he went to get his vilification card fixed? Ellen DeGeneres. He sat on Ellen DeGeneres' show, and a white lesbian, after weeks of him being drugged by the black community, told him, "I don't see that there's not a problem with this. You're good in our book." And the audience cheered, and sure enough, white Hollywood let him back in after that. But you didn't put that wasn't in front of white. That wasn't in front of the.
get the EMP in the LAPV to HLAR. The LAPV is still at the safe house on North Calafia.
The white LGBT community, that was us. And you knew that. But you also knew that Hollywood wasn't going to forgive you unless you had a powerful white voice behind you. And you thought about that.
Honey, we already know how the game goes. White ISIS soldier, bitch. Y'all know white ISIS soldier, and y'all know that being Hollywood niggas is cool. Y'all know these motherfuckers literally getting paid to tap dance for a motherfucking crowd. I mean, y'all expecting them to be something other than a goddamn fool. You better stop playing.
I wanna get back to the young person at the gym. Look, I agree with Monroe. I would love if we lived in a world.
It's like the night before Christmas or the morning before a test. Yeah, I got a degree. In prison. The anticipation is killing me, so I guess we're all in danger. You'll be happy to know we got a good price for the Hydra. That jet's a collector's item. Real nostalgic appeal. I just hope it gets used what it was built for, you know? That it's out there bombing orphanages instead of sitting in mothballs appreciating in value. It does have a questionable human rights record, mind you. So here's hoping he's not just rolling it out for air shows.
World where what you did in your transition doesn't affect me, but it does, because we're going to be the ones holding the bag at the end of the day. I'm not pushing passability. That's not what I'm pushing. I'm just pushing just be serious about this. Just be serious.
Question then? May I ask a question? So when you say be serious about this, right? And we have already, or I, let me be, I'm I girl, and I have introduced to the chat that this person, yes, I agree that what this, something like this can affect us. Absolutely, this is why we're here. I have also introduced to the chat that this person was at the gym, right? So this is your point, or what I hear you saying is like, put some effort into it, right? So like effort into the appearance.
When you make that step, like we've been saying, to go into a female only space, you know when it's time to go in there. You know when, like, you got, like, we just got to be for real. And so y'all know I'm not, because I know everybody's gonna say, oh, she wants passability. I'm gonna take my wig off.
No. I'm lifting it up and down. You got nice hair.
I'm gonna take your wig off.
You gonna take it off? Please, Clay, don't take that wig off.
Don't take that wig off.
Clay did not take that wig off.
Take off your
Clay,
wig.
keep that wig.
Yeah.
A man is in the
to remove them. Eat, take your dick off and lay it on the counter. Take off the dick. Take the dick off. And then if you take off the dick, then that's it.
Wait. Let me say this. Wait, I was in college and I was going to the women's bathroom. I intentionally waited for nobody to be in there because, like you said, I know the perfect time and I come from old school where I need to pass and da 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 da. But just because this lady knew that I was living in the boys' dorm, because that's what they.
Hey, I haven't seen you at the Epsilon training. You okay?
Put me in at Jackson State. They knew. She knew I was trans, not because I wasn't trying to look passable. I was, because I come from the old school. I went in the bathroom by myself, and because she seen me go in there, she called the police on me. And so,
Like every American achievement, GMC trucks are the result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering. We are professional grade.
You want some?
No, I'm driving later.
All right.
Hi. Where's Rachel? Rachel's off playing the new Call of Duty Black Ops 7. We're her replacers. What do you want? I'm here to get my dog Coco. She wants her dog Coco?
Yeah.
Go get Coco. Oh, there's Coco.
Yeah, she loves
This
me.
is not Coco. Yes, it is. I want my dog. Where's my dog? You know what? I'm going to go talk to your manager. I don't even work here.
Neither do I.
intent does not matter.
Taking the
It doesn't
sweet ass time.
matter. I still feel I should have been respected because I'm a trans woman, and she feels that I should have been disrespected because she does not consider me a woman. And there's no way around that. It's not no amount of intent that is going to allow a transphobe to treat us well if they don't respect our identity. It's not going to happen.
I want us to also be able to check, like I mentioned earlier, be able to check your own. experience, right? Just because you went through a journey where you had to get to a certain point in your transition to feel safe in the restroom or to feel safe in the women's restroom, that does not give you the right to do it to other people. Just because it happened to you doesn't mean it should happen to everybody else. And again, there are, like, a lot of this is just bullshit. Because like Diamond mentioned earlier, as a boy, she went in the women's restroom. People didn't have a problem until she started to look like a girl. Yeah. Then people started to have a problem. And
Okay, so we're going for the charges. Head out to Calafia Bridge and I'll come back with a POA. So, you're gonna run what's known in the biz as a hijacking because you're hijacking the Merryweather convoy. The bridge is a nice, tidy place to get it done. Not many places they can go, but plenty of options for you. You can station people at vantage points, block the road, and wait for them to roll into the trap. You can try to take out all the drivers at once. You can concentrate really hard and try to make the truck levitate with your minds. This is San Andreas, after all. Do whatever you think will work, but get the truck and don't let anyone follow it. You're bringing it to Paige and Grapeseed so she can dig out the thermal charges. Oh yeah, and that reminds me. Try not to blow them up. Do not damage that truck at all, okay? I'll be in touch when there's a target about a click out from the bridge. They're on the way. Roll out some flypaper, start thinking some nasty thoughts, and do whatever you're gonna do.
I'll ditch the truck if you hold on to this.
And I experienced the same shit. I used to dress like the trade sometimes. They would be in the women's bathroom and they would be kikiing and cacaing with me. But as soon as I started looking like a girl, they tried to have me banned from the women's restroom when I went to hair school, when I went to cosmetology school.
Like, I get that. And to, like, piggyback off what Diamond was saying, like, in that time were you presenting still? Because it's really given, like, this rhetoric that we're spewing online is announce that I'm trans at 8 o'clock, pop a moan at 12, then at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm in the women's bathroom.
This was, let me give you some time. So this was 2001, and I had transitioned.
What is this? That's gonna be good somewhere else.
In 94.
And I don't see. I think there's something happening now in this space where I think people are bullshitting. I think people are truly bullshitting. I don't think that they're valid. I don't think that they're really trans. I think that it's. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
You're saying in what space?
In this time, in this era, I feel like people in the world.
And let me just name something, because even if they are half subordinate or they present enough or they get enough effort to you, what Tish said was, I don't care how passable you are, I don't want a trans person in the bathroom at all. So even if they are good for you to consume, them in the bathroom, they're good enough for your liking, that's not everyone's situation. She said that. We have footage of her saying that. She put it in her Instagram. So I don't care what.
We got footage. Go run the footage.
Video.
Go run the footage. Go, damn it, run it.
Yeah, so this was a trans women across the board.
Wasn't
Oh, I get that jump scare.
wasn't we just telling this vendor block to chill with the transphobia?
We've got to scream when we see men in the restroom of any form. They're biological men, we've got to scream because we can't take the risk of being right or wrong.
You transparency. You looking at yourself in the camera when you recorded it. Why we just telling this vendor break to chill with the transphobia? Shameless and shit.
Fucking trans woman walked in.
Choppers will be fast on to get you away from the cops. If they were, they wouldn't be able to turn a corner. These brakes use a kinetic energy recovery system. They store the energy and use it to accelerate later on to burn the cops and save the environment while you're at it. Okay, as always, keep your braking in until you want them to die.
So I stay there with the song. Feel wine and part. And it's like, no, it's to me. You know, he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay with the way you talk to him. You're a woman, and I have every right to. I want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. They're both naked in the room walking in there like it's okay. Not okay.
There's a bike each. We need all four for the job. When you've got them, stash them in the alley for the job. Sounds like the Lost are mobilizing their troops. A wrecked bike is no good to us, people. Stay out in front of them. I think you're in the clear. Drop the bikes in
It's
the alley.
crazy work to be clear, and not want trans people to be comfortable with them. It's crazier work to be black and try to segregate bathrooms. It is the craziest work to live in LA and not expect to share space with trans people. And they might have the same thing between their legs as you. Because trans men do exist. I think you just want to be the most butch person in the business. In fact, I'm getting the impression that you want to do coochie checks in the locker room for your own personal gratification. It really seems like you're deflecting and reflecting your predatory feelings onto trans women. Out of all the straight women that go to that gold strip, the one lesbian woman is the one who's kicked out because she only wants vagines in her locker room. That sounded real sus. And that obsession with other people's anatomy really sounds like a trauma response. I think you should really talk to somebody about that. Seriously. And at the end of the day, if you see someone in the restroom who ain't bothering you or anyone else, mind your business. If you're uncomfortable with what somebody has between their legs in the bathroom, if you're concerned about how somebody looks in the bathroom, if you're more concerned about the plumbing in the other stall than doing what you came to do in the bathroom, then maybe public restrooms just aren't for you. What's crazy is I've been seeing a lot of trans people like, well, that ain't no trans woman. Where are the trans women at? That's a man. And I just want to say to those trans people, you know there was a time when you were a hard-ass grandfather clock or a soft-ass stud. And yeah, I know you may not have been able to use the bathroom that you wanted, but that don't mean that you should deprive somebody else. Being unsafe in the bathroom is not a rite of passage that trans people should have to experience. Not to mention, She don't want y'all in the bathroom either. Again, if they ain't bothering you and they ain't bothering nobody else, mind your damn business. Bitch. If you want to join this conversation, we are discussing tips this week, this Thursday, on this episode of Marsha's Plate. Tune in. You know, I don't talking or whatever. This is Pookie from New Jack City. What? That's like a soft ass stud. No, I'm not doing that. What is a soft ass stud? I want to know. It wasn't that soft of her. It was a hard stud. I got questions. We're gonna be wrapping it up soon because I know the people want to get down there. They can check this up, pick this up, and discuss it. I wanna quickly do like a lightning round of what is a transphobe? What is transphobic? So what is it? Like what is it? Let's break it down.
I would say a transphobe is someone who has a fear or aversion to trans people. Someone who, doesn't want for us to be able to have human rights. Someone who advocates for us to be pushed to the furthest margins of society. That's who I consider to be a transphobe. People who have a visceral reaction to us being in their presence or in their vicinity.
And I would say not a clinical sort of like mental fear. I would say actually a hate, like an active legislative hate.
I was gonna say that's why I try not to use the word phobe. I try to use mythia or mythic. Transmythia or or a person who is transmythic is a person who has an unfounded disdain or hatred for. Right. And that goes for all of the things. And I use that because y'all know how they like to say, well, I'm not scared. Okay, cool. You want to play semantics? Fine. Mythia means disdain or hatred for, which you definitely have. So I tend to not use that so that they can't even say that to begin with.
Okay, my definition would be just hilarious, Tasha K, people like that.
Okay, what if they say, well, I'm not a transphobe, I'm just pro-woman, and you're not a woman, you're not a female, you're a man, and the truth is that we all up here are men, and we're not women, we'll never be women, we blah blah blah, all this shit. At what point? Because they don't see that as transphobia. They don't see that as they don't see it. No.
I'm not going to the Klan rally to fucking compromise and negotiate my fucking race with no fucking white person that's at the Klan rally. I'm not talking to them or considering them just because they don't consider me equal or anything. I don't give a fuck about them. So I'm not going to the Klan rally to talk to them and negotiate with them, blah, 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 blah. And I feel the same way about cis women. If you can't give me the basic respect that I'm giving you, I'm not going to negotiate. I'm just going to engage, compromise. I don't care about no bitch that don't consider me a woman. Fuck them, bitch. I'm only going to engage with the women that respect me and I respect them, and we're going to work on stuff together. I'm not going to sit in a space and compromise and bullshit with bitches like that. Fuck them. They can suck my asshole.
Okay.
Well, I think since we have the platform, I will speak to them, and I will say that you just need to read a book and understand the difference between gender and sex.
Right.
And we are here, we exist, and let's just coexist.
Okay. But y'all know my approach is a bit different. Y'all know I can be a bit aggressive. So I don't create space.
The one and only. So what you looking for? Keep your eyes open.
Okay, so are you ready? This should be pretty easy. I've kept it simple since you all seem pretty simple in a good way. In a good way. In a good straight ahead, low IQ kind of. Oh no, let's do. Stop it. It's the new man.
Alright, here we go. The one we've all been waiting for. Put your masks on when you get in the bank. Then crowd control. You're on, well, crowd control. You get in their faces. Shout at them. Shoot near them if you have to. Just try not to kill them. Mind you, that wouldn't be cool. Demolitions, Hacker, your first job's to subdue the guards. Again, try and do it without killing them. When that's done, go downstairs and hit the vault. I've given you special carbines with suppressors. Use them wisely. Like I said, this is a big deal, people. Don't fuck it up.
Oh shit.
You tried like shit. Film that shit.
Crowd control managing hostages. Demolitions and Hacker putting down guards. Again, try not to kill the hostages. If this goes to shit, we'll need collateral. The guards are down? Okay, demolitions, blow the first gate. Charges are on a timer. Keep that in mind. Remember, the gates you're going through are a special alloy. Only the thermal charges you got from the convoy will work on them. Stay in control. If they think you're weak, they might try something. Demolitions through the first gate. Crowd control, get behind there and get your guns in the tellers. Now, there's a second gate that'll get you access to the lower level. Blow it.
I'm reading you loud and clear.
Let the hostages know what happens to heroes, yeah? This ain't the movies. Hacker, you're up. You repackage that other crew's hardware. Plug it into the access panel and get into the bank network. If you don't control the crowd or you a way out. Come to think of it, Kerr's boost just before you jump might be the best way to get away from the cliff. As soon as you're airborne, ditch your bikes and start gliding. That's easy, right? Coming from a guy who walks with a cane. You see that boat in the creek? That's where you're aiming. There's a lot of confused voices coming out of my
We did it, Joe. We did it.
You know what? I might have just pulled this off. Maybe I am a genius after all.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah. Oh, my friends! We did it! Well, you did it. Woo. I know I didn't do that much, but you, you know, I thought you were just a bunch of creepy and quiet weirdos. Turns out you're a bunch of creepy, quiet weirdos with talent. You rob and you steal and destroy like geniuses. Oh, I love it. I love it. Here, let me wire you your money. You know, I will never forget the good times. You know, all the laughs we had. You know, you're like family. The picnic, you know, the hike in the woods, and all the selfies, and oh, and the time we went rollerblading, and we watched the sunset, and we stayed up all night talking and sharing our innermost fears, and then what was that? That wasn't you? Even the skinny dipping and the oh. What are you saying? Oh. The drugs. Oh man, the drugs. I am a heavily medicated man. I'm not well at all. I'm a little embarrassed. Okay, the money here, and here, and here, and here. Okay, you better take off and take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bitch, who was that?
What's happening?
Oh, I didn't know he was here. Ooh, no.
Looking good, boss. I'll be here. The one and only. So what you looking for? Always gotta have a mag of that. I listened to a lot of Dre when I was on tour. Shit kept me loose, you know?
Girl, not El Salvador, bitch.
Oh, hey! Sweet Jesus! No, please!
Girl.
Space for transphobes. If you don't like me because of some shit that I said regarding trans people, you're very likely a transphobe.
Oh. Oh. Okay. So what about the people that are like, well, I'm not transphobic. You're a man. I'm not transphobic. You're not a real woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm just speaking the truth. Because we have so many people in the comment, especially on Instagram.
Things happen here. No one really talks about it.
What exactly are we looking for? Something that was buried in Gary a long time ago.
Trevor is very pleased with how you're getting. So pleased that he couldn't get here himself. But he told me that if you keep this up, maybe he won't. Well, he's very happy, and trust me, a happy Trevor is a good Trevor, and we all want a good Trevor. I mean, he suffered a lot. He's not the horrific, bloodthirsty maniac that we all imagine he is. Well, he is, but he's got a gentler side. He loves his mother. Anyway, after this, we'll all be rich, and you can get to know him better. A kind man who likes animals and children, and smoking crystal while the sun sets. Okay, so you're going to the lumberyard in Paleto Forest to pick up some grass. Now, it's a whole lot of grass, and it's well protected, so you gotta go in cautious. Now, 2 of you with guns in the hills, and 2 of you on the ground. You're gonna get a whole lot of shipment, and you're gonna get out of there. Now, ground team will be driving the shipment out. Gun team will be protecting it. You're gonna bring the grass to me, and I'm gonna package it with the rest of the stuff for sale. Then all we gotta get is the chemicals that Chef needs to get his lab up and running. And then we're good for the sale. Trevor will be in touch if there's a problem.
My scalp needs a little extra love, so I'm trying Head and Shoulders Bare. Welcome to your new scalp. Head and Shoulders Bare helps soothe your scalp and controls itch, dryness, and flakes. All with no sulfates, silicones, or dyes.
Head and Shoulders.
We have them in the comments, and they're like, well, I love y'all. And I mean, it's just facts are facts. And y'all caping for a white man and putting down a black person and da.
I think what I sit with is, let's say we're all men, fine. If we all were the men they said we were, all the things that we do, they would allow us to do. There are black men who make millions of dollars getting online talking terribly about black women every day, and you see black women in the comments saying, yes, I understand black fatigue. Yes, I understand why. There's a white man sitting on Pennsylvania Avenue making millions of dollars who feels like it's okay to make it seem like it's ghetto, terrible black women who are using these food stamps. And when you look in the comment section, it is black women saying, yes, I +1 this, I understand it. If we were all black men and we were engaging in sexual assault, You would be stepping in the name of love to our music. You would be getting married to our songs. You would be getting prepared to invite us for Thanksgiving because we were the uncle that you know engaged in a great deal of harm. If we were the men that people said we were, we could get online and call women bitch, black women bitches. We could do all of these things and have a platform that we could be a Cam Newton, we could be Joe Budden, we could be all of these people and engage in very nefarious behavior and be not only supported physically but compensated by Derek Jackson. I can name the spectrum, and so I just wanted, you asked that question earlier. I'm going to present you with facts. If you don't want to pick them up and you don't want to receive it, I'm not going to force you to take it. And I do think from the trans community, we're going to have to really all think about divesting from acceptance and even affirmation. Because I think the desire for acceptance and affirmation has given a lot of people the idea that we care what they think about us, right? That we need them to affirm us. And we're going to engage. If you don't like this, well, then we're going to come back. I recall after you and Sherry had y'all first, when Sherry was on the first interview that y'all did together. And like at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's trans women coming up on the panel apologizing to women about things that trans women were saying. And I'm just like,
Thirsty hair? Meet Aussie. It's giving moisture with a capital M. Made for every type and texture.
There's nothing you all can say, including cutting your dick off, that's going to make these people validate you. And you don't need to disrespect them not to seek their validation, but kissing their asses is not going to make them see your life as valid. And so that's what I think is most important for divest. Don't hurt people, but stop kissing ass.
One of the things that I live by is that, listen, if you think, don't ask the question, you already have the answer. So if you're coming to me and you believe that you already have the answer to a question that is not your lived experience, then there is no conversation to be had, right? If someone is arguing with a fool, no one can tell who the fool is. So I'm not going to sit here and engage, to Dominique's point, I'm not engaging in an argument, a conversation, a debate, a teachable moment with someone who has already made up their mind about the lived experience. Begin.
And I'm justifying my humanity for nobody. At the end of the day, we both walk around this bitch. We put our pants on 2 legs at a time, all of that bullshit. And so I'll be damned if I sit here and I grovel at your feet and ask you to see me as a human being. Bitch, I'm a human being whether you like it or not. And we can either coexist in this bitch as mutual experience partners, or I hate you and you can hate me and we can make each other's life miserable every chance we get. Which one you want to do?
All right, I have another question. This is my devil's advocate moment. Why don't we ever see trans men having the same diet, having the I'm trying to word it the way.
Because men don't feel inferior to trans men.
Because that's where the patriarchy they swear is at the bottom of us is living under these.
It's living.
Second of all, the other reason that you don't hear them talking about it is because trans men give them an additional option of a man that they feel like will treat them better than a cis man. And so they will let that shit slide. Because we deal with trans men all the time. I don't know where these trans men exist that don't know how to express their needs, that won't call people in when they're not getting what their needs are met. This idea that we are the most difficult trans folks in the community is wild. Because all see you looking, Monroe. Listen, because she asked me a question. I know trans men that do talk about it. I know trans men who talk about it, and I know people who express their needs. I don't think that these people don't realize that most trans men are in relationships with biological black women, with cis black women, so they're still they are in spaces where well, why aren't they fighting? Why aren't they being loud? Because there's really not a requirement for that. And most of
nobody gets above.
The Gavin Grims of the world. Remember, he was one of the first people who had the bathroom issue in, was it North Carolina or somewhere, in 2015, 16, Gavin Grimm. That trans men do. It's just, they fuck with us. They don't really fuck with us.
Trans men participate in ways that feel more traditional, or they seem like trans men are taking the appropriate, the route they think that's appropriate, i.e. a Chase Strangio, or even Gavin, like they think that they're those late, right? Those are the appropriate ways to challenge, and we are disruptive. We are difficult. We're having these conversations in non-traditional ways.
We're forced to be though. We're forced to be though.
They encourage too.
Ultimately, they don't give a fuck about trans men because we're the spectacle. The man is the dress, is the spectacle.
And they are more likely to be attracted to trans men. Like all men, most times when you're attracted to them, you don't see any of the problematic issues because there's more of a connection there. And I feel like that's just enough. Where it's like, oh, trans men aren't asking for these things. Well, what trans men are you connected to? What conversations are you having with trans men, right? You know, LPC, I know Ricky, I know so many black trans men who are advocates and who are having conversations, but I don't think it's received in the same way. And I feel like a part of it is that men are allowed to show up in ways that women aren't. And so it's like, if you are a woman and if you're a real woman, why are you being so angry? Why are you being so aggressive? That's because you're really a man at the end of the day. And women are allowed to be more gender expression fluid. They're allowed to be masculine and still claim to be woman and still be in spaces, whether you be super, super butch or super, super high femme, you can be there. The male space, the man space is not as nuanced. It's actually cool to be, butchy woman and be in those kind of spaces. I see that all the time.
I also see someone in the comments saying, well, they're not trying to push themselves in men's space. These hands create all of the materials I work with dry on my hands. If my hands get really dry, I can't do my job. I depend on O'Keeffe's.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work.
They are.
They're in there. There is no pushing.
Yeah.
They show up in their masculinity, they show up as the men that they are, and they're either welcomed in, or you do have traumatic experiences that happen, but then they find another space and they're welcomed into that space. The only people that get pushed out perpetually is us.
They can ignore. Look at Matt Briggs trying to be a wrestler and all that kind of stuff here in Texas. This happened, y'all just ignore it. It doesn't go viral as we do. Go ahead.
The same person, they name 20 trans men, so they can name 2 trans women.
Love you, trainees. I have a performance at the theater. Thank you for having me.
Yes, no, they go. It's beautiful. Thank you all so much. Y'all were wonderful.
Listen, all right, Monroe. All right, Quaid. All right, baby. Well, it's down to the wire. We got about 7 minutes left. 7 minutes. What is the difference between gender? Did Hope leave too?
Possibly.
What is the difference between... Oh, she's back. What is the difference between gender and sex?
Sex is who you go to bed as. Gender is who you go to bed as. Then your sex is the way that you were categorized at birth. How you express yourself and how you were born and categorized medically. That is the difference. Gender is also a social construct created by people. It is ever evolving and ever changing based on the social and society standards at the time. Sex is not moving. If you were born male, that is what it will be forever and always until the scientists figure out a way to play God, which eventually they will. But until that day, sex is immovable. Gender is ever changing based on societal notions and standards.
And even that is nuanced. Even sex is nuanced. And also, I think that most people are very lazy, and we have to talk about presentation and expression is a different category. That has nothing to do with your gender identity, your sex assigned at birth, and it has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. And everybody wants these things to be a stack of Legos that is perfect. And because we want everything to fit in, it's okay if you are you identify as even if you identify as male at birth, or you identify as a trans woman, and
Girl, bye. You know what? I'm going to bed.
Got some cool stuff here for you. What can I get you? Lamar always been a goofy motherfucker for real. What you carrying lately?
I don't remember. I am going to bed. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all later. All right, y'all make sure to brush y'all teeth before y'all go to bed. I will see y'all tomorrow. I think, yeah. Okay. Have a good night.